Hi, on the occasion of International Women's Day 2022, we are talking to Akanksha Garg today. She's the founder director of Waxpol Hotels and runs a number of luxury wildlife lodges across India. She's also actively involved in the Adventure Tour Operators Association of India, where she's a part of the Women's Collective. So we look forward to her views today. Hi Akanksha, thanks for doing this for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amit. So I started I got into this industry say 20 years back with my hospitality chain known as Waxpol Hotels and Resorts, and we pioneered the tourism in the Sundarbans, followed by Duars and then Pench. Now we're expanding to Kana. I also wear multiple hats in terms of I'm in the governing council of Responsible Tourism Society of India, and I advise the Women's Collective, which is the women's wing of Adventure Tour Operators Association of India, and I'm also supporting them in the Responsible Tourism wing. So it's been a very exciting journey, advising the government, seeing what's actually happening on ground level. And today, after 20 years, I can see the change the industry has gone through the past 2 decades, and it's India is a great market, for domestic and international. And because of COVID, we've seen the change of people wanting to travel to naturally distanced locations, for example, like going to the wilderness, going for vacations or staycations. So it's been very interesting there. So this is just one of the current hats which I'm wearing right now, and I also advise the Indian Hospitality Network for the Platina chapter.
Okay, fantastic. To start off, what is the most interesting aspect of the hospitality industry that you've noticed?
So the hospitality industry, it's a very wide industry, and when you look at it overall, something which I would just talk about, what I have taken back is it's a very dynamic industry. It's ever evolving, ever changing. You deal with new situations every day. So maybe if you're a hotelier, you may be dealing with clients, suppliers, purchase managers, along with the local community. It's a industry which knits everything together. So if people are looking to come into the hospitality industry, I would say yes, please go ahead for it. If you're a person who's looking for challenges, this is where you need to be, and that's the challenges is what I thrive on.
So, what are some of the challenges you faced when you started out?
So, everybody thinks that the hospitality industry is such a glamorous industry. It's very easy, it's very relaxing, it's so sophisticated. But what they don't get to see is what's happening behind in the back office or the back doors, right? It needs a lot of coordination. It needs the work pattern. You need to have a lot of empathy to work with your team. It needs a lot of your mental space. It needs a lot of emotional intelligence to deal with different human beings, different personalities. And so the challenges which I have faced in my industry is, honestly, just being a woman would be a challenge, because in my industry I was one of the forerunners, and nobody really was then in the hospitality business at that time, especially doing wildlife. So the change that what I see today is people accept me as a woman leader, they accept me as a hotelier, they accept me to be running a resort, and not because I'm a woman, but because of the skill set and because of what I deliver, what product offerings I bring on the table. So yeah, that's how you overcome the challenges.
So what aspect of your work do you enjoy the most? What is that one thing that you really enjoy?
Traveling. I love traveling. I love traveling, exploring new places. When I was a young child, I was lucky enough to travel to America, Europe, and I saw that, the countries are very different. The way they look at treating people, the way they serve food is so different than the way we do it, because we are supposed to be a culture which is a little backward, a third world, right? But I don't think so. We have our own base and our culture that we want to promote. So I would say that, I love traveling, I love exploring, love eating the good food, love meeting new people, culturalization. And I think the connects that you make in the industry are great, because you meet some really intelligent people and you see that how they do the things differently. And it's always a learning experience in the end of the day. For example, I remember when I was in Germany, And I met this gentleman who was promoting the Saxony district. And he was telling me how they were focusing on the art and culture. And I was like, hey, we have so much for ASI. We need to relook at the way we are marketing our products. And I came back and discussed that with the GM marketing for India Tourism at that time. And that's when they started focusing on cultural marketing. And I think it's always great to interact. Travel makes you grow as a person. It helps you a lot in self-discovery as well.
So one thing I was curious to know, is about, in your own organization, do you promote diversity? Do you consciously hire women for certain roles or something like that? And you could talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so what I do in my organization is I do work with the local community, and we do employ local women. There are certain challenges that come into play here, Amit, because the local communities are still very backward. It's a very patriarchal society. So, we have to do a lot of convincing to let the women out. And generally it works for day-hour works. They don't allow night stays. So we do give them roles such as receptionist jobs. We train them, we educate them, we upskill them. We give them jobs in the kitchen. We give them house and housekeeping. If they are educated, then we give them a job in accounts as well. So these are desk jobs, which are easy to maintain with the work and family life balance. Similarly, in all our city offices, we are women run. All our executives are women, and I'm very proud to say that the way they handle the clients with empathy, with proactiveness, they can multitask. And something they bring on the table, which I've not seen with my men colleagues are, unfortunately, I'm not trying to be gender biased here, is they're great at problem solving. They are quick. They're like, ma'am, let's solve this and let's get it done, because these women are not only working professionals. They are either daughters, they are wives, they are mothers, so they have responsibilities back at home, and they are managing that as well. So I really appreciate and honor these women for coming and supporting our organization and being a part of it.
Just to talk a bit about women in the adventure tourism space in India. So are they finding acceptability? Are there more women working in that space? Because you're part of that women's collective, maybe you could throw some light on that.
So there are women working in the adventure space, but unfortunately till date we are not collected together. We are all working very individualistically, and we are trying at Women's Collective to assimilate and accumulate all the data of women guide, women tour operators who are present in India, so that we can build a support channel for women entrepreneurs or women travel leaders. So one challenge which I do face even today is that it's still a very male-dominated field, and people in general, travelers, say tour operators or locals, even need to understand we both are equal. It's okay, maybe we may not be able to lift a 150 kilo bag, but we can trek, we can walk, we can climb the heights. We do have our physical challenges, but then according to that, these tours need to be customized. So today, what you will notice in the market is, Amit, that there are a lot of women groups that are traveling. They're going on hikes, they're going for the Everest climb, they're going for snorkeling, they're doing everything that a man can do. It's just that they're more comfortable going in a women's bubble because they feel that they will not be judged. And I think this judging needs to go, because in the end of the day, we are all but one. And that change is actually going to help India thrive as an adventure destination as well. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, you have. Yeah. And what is I have to ask you this, what is the most sexist thing you've ever heard?
Sexist. Okay, so from not being you're in a man's world, to saying that, you're a woman boss. Why does it have to have the connotation that I'm a woman boss? I can just be a boss. I understand that I am a woman and I have a family. It's kind of expected by the society to understand that if there is a child, I have a young 8-year-old now, that I will look after the son, but I can also manage my work. I just have to prioritize and multitask a bit. So yeah, I should just be a boss.
So what is your advice to women entering the hospitality industry? Do you have any advice for them?
So my main advice for women is that please don't look at hospitality industry as a glamour industry. Speak to your friends, colleagues who are there in the industry, understand what it entails. If you can't give long hours, if you are emotionally fragile, if you are not willing to work hard and multitask, think of a role in the hospitality industry where you do not need to have these skills. For example, like a desk job, back office coordination. But if you want to be a forefront runner, you want to be in the reception, you want to be interacting with guests, you need to be quick on your feet, you need to be witty, you need to be an all outgoing person. The industry is very dynamic. You have to be a problem solver. You have to be a person who, who's not lazy. A lot of lazy people in our families and businesses, when I was young, they would say, oh, you want to go into the hospitality industry, such an easy job. You have to do a waiter's work. No, it's not that. It's a lot of hard work. It's long hours. And you have to keep on upgrading yourself. You have to keep on upskilling. Like I started doing from cleaning the bathrooms, making the bed. I learned the job, what my lowest level staff would do. And then I've become a manager. So I know what he's going through. So for a woman who's coming in, please be ready for odd hours. Yeah, you can have a work life and a family life balance. What you really need to do there is choose a role and a department that suits you.
Yeah. If you had not become a hotelier, what would you have become?
A forest ranger for sure. I love going to the wilderness. I love being in the forest. So in my off time, I'm actually off to Pench and Kana or say Sundarbans, and you would just find me walking away into the buffer zone along with a guide, exploring the trees, the nature, the small insects that you find there, the herbs that grow there, the dynamics of, the symbiotic relationship that you see between different animals and birds. It's just amazing. It's just a carefree life. And of course, there's no pollution. So I would love to be a forest ranger. Yeah.
Any message for our viewers for International Women's Day?
So as Bill Gates said, that I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. I will request all you women to work hard, or if you are given a task, don't run away from it. Take it as a challenge, overcome it. You will get self-confidence. You will become self-reliant. You will understand what your hidden talent is. Be proactive, do the deed, do not look back, and do not be demotivated. We are all there in leadership positions to support you and mentor you. So join the force and be the woman you are.
Thank you, Akanksha, for talking to us today.
Thank you so much, Amit. It was such a pleasure to be a part of this and part of TravelDine. Thank you.